I hear you guys. Can you hear me? What is it doing? Nicole, can you tell me if you can hear me? What in the world is happening? I don't know what's happening. Can you hear me? Everything is gone from here. I'm gonna try, I don't know what's happening. I'll be right back. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. Where'd Nicole go?
Hi. How are you? Beautiful.
Can you see me sitting here having issues with my computer?
No, I just logged on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She connected me and then I went to go screen share and everything was gone. And I'm like,
Oh. Technology is either amazing or the death of you. Like, it's insane.
I'm not totally inept. So I was sitting here getting really frustrated and like sweating. So hopefully I'm going to try this again and hope it lets me share.
You're recording. Do you know that?
Yeah, that's great. I didn't do that. I think Nicole must have done that.
Where is she?
I don't know.
I can see your screen.
Okay, good. So I'm just trying to navigate there. Now everything's looking much better. So maybe she can edit this later.
All good.
All right. So hold on. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas.
Ready to roll?
I guess. I had all this teed up, so my apologies.
You're good. Where's Carly?
Can you see the pictures of all of you guys on here too?
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm moving it around, can you see it?
I have mine on the right side, and then I have your screen share part.
Where's Nicole?
Well, I would say whenever you're ready, get started, because you only have 40 minutes from whenever she hit record.
All right, so I'm trying to get, it's taking a while here to load. That was my concern. That was going to happen. So I'll just leave it on here. I feel like it's stressing it out right now. Okay, so hi guys. Hi Carly.
Hi.
All right, here we are with 3 ways technology can help you manage your business. For those of you that are watching the recording, sorry for the technical difficulties getting started. Okay, so I'm Marty. I have been with our team now since October, and I'm a Silver Ambassador out of Chicagoland. So 3 things that I'm going to cover today as far as how technology can help us with social are CRM, social sharing, and organization. Pretty simple. CRM, I'm going to start off with that, and it's customer relationship management. It's the ability to manage all of your contacts. That's something that once you really start getting going with this, you'll find that happening a lot, that you now have more people and you're trying to track who you've talked to, when you've talked to them, who are the people that you've reached out to that are kind of cold prospects, and that you're, wanting to know when was the last time I reached out to them, and kind of balancing out the frequency of which you follow up with those folks. And then also your customers and your ambassadors that sign up with you. You want to have a plan for communicating with those folks. So there's a couple of platforms that I'm familiar with. There are tons of them out there, and many of them you pay for. So with this, I just want to highlight 2 of them, HubSpot, and Insightly. HubSpot I've been using for a while. It's cool. It has the ability, I'll just zoom back out here real quick. It has the ability to manage each contact. When you go in, you can see various communications you've had with that person. They have email templates you can create. In the free version, you can do 5 email templates. Pretty much across the board, most of these platforms will allow you to do email templates, which is nice because a lot of times we're sending some of the, the same information. One of the cool things about HubSpot is they have email tracking too, so you can see who's opened it. In fact, it will pop up a little thing in the corner of my computer exactly when that person opens my email. So I can be a total stalker. I'd be like, hey, you just read my email. If you have any questions, but I usually don't do that. But I did, if I follow up with somebody that's getting ready to order and I see that they've revisited one of my emails, I use that as an opportunity to follow back up shortly after that to just see how are things going and what else can we do to help. So that's a little bit about HubSpot.
We're just watching Marty.
Then if you look here, I've got Insightly that I was talking about. This is one that Nicole will be back, you guys. She's all good. She was texting me. Sorry for my little chirping here. So this Insightly, similar scenario, very easy, user-friendly interface. And I'm sorry I'm not going full screen because I'm going to try it, you guys. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. My computer isn't liking the amount of stuff happening with it right now. So anyway, it's super, super, super easy, friendly interface. And one of the cool things about it, actually, which is what I want to show here, was when you put somebody in there with their email, you actually have the ability to view their social platforms that they've used that email for, which is kind of cool because then you can stalk them a little bit to see a little bit more about them. The other thing that Insightly has that I think is pretty fantastic is they have these workflows that you can put in. So you can decide if you're just putting a prospect in for your first communication, you can have different steps along the way of what, you're going to follow up 7 days after you sent that first email, and then the next 7 days after that, or 3 days after that, you're going to follow up and see if they'd like to get a sample, or 14 days later. So you can kind of space it out and not be sitting there going, when did I last talk to that person? When do I need to talk to them again? So that's Insightly. Again, also free for basic, but as you can see, I've got the basic plan. I'm just getting my feet wet with this one, but it is a pretty popular, like I said, super easy interface, which is nice. So CRM in overall is just a really nice way to help manage your contacts. A lot of people use spreadsheets, and that works too. But for those that might want to be looking for something with a little bit more meat behind it and can actually give you a little bit more oomph, CRM might be a good thing to consider. So social sharing, I know that is a big part of our lives, is sharing on social media. The tricky part with these social sharing platforms that are out there is that, yes, it can give you some freedom and you can schedule things for later. But the downside is, because of some of these platforms and the way that social media platforms want to be seen and want you to pay to be seen, sometimes they don't play nice in the sandbox, and then you don't have as much visibility. And so thus the kitty cat that doesn't see your post because you're just not visible sometimes in some of those arenas. That's not always the case, and so I wanted to highlight a couple of great platforms that are out there, and depending on where you want to share, might want to consider both of these. There's Hootsuite, which is what you're seeing here. Again, something for somebody who might be a little bit more advanced on the social media front or just wants to dip their toe into this scheduling world. You can register multiple platforms on here. You can see I've got LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. You can even have Instagram on here, which is really nice. And then you also have the ability to, so with Instagram, I just wanted to touch on that really quick. With Instagram, what's cool about it is when I post out here, and I'm going to post through Instagram on Hootsuite, what I'll do is I won't post to my other platforms because I have my Instagram registered with my Facebook and my Twitter accounts. So it's fun because you can just do your Instagram here, schedule it out. It sends you a little reminder to your phone because Instagram's goofy. And you can post it there and then get it on Facebook and Twitter all at the same time, rather than having to go post on Facebook once, go back and post on Twitter if you're on Twitter, go and post on Instagram. So this is just one place you can kind of aggregate it. My suggestion to you is, if you're going to use social sharing, figure out which platforms are most important to you, and focus on how you're writing your post for those platforms, because what you write on a Facebook post doesn't necessarily work on other types of posts. This is a social media call, so I won't dig into that, but just something to think about. The other thing that I found is that in the two platforms that I'm showing you guys, they both have the ability to post to groups, which is really nice for those of us that start things like a Slim and Edge 7-day challenge, or if you're doing one of the P96 belly buster challenges, you can go in here ahead of time and schedule things out. It works very, very well for groups, and because our groups tend to be a smaller audience, they see those posts. So just something to think about if you know you're going to be gone for a little while. Those are handy to have around and to be able to use. So I just want to highlight here that these are all of what I use for Plexus most of the time, just as what you can share. They also have a link shortener, so if you have a crazy long link, they'll make it short to save you some characters. And what I'm showing here, I didn't get the header on here, my apologies, but this is Friends Plus Me. Some of you guys might have heard me talk about it before. It's also a really cool sharing site. It's not one that's really mainstream. It's still a little bit hodgepodgey in how it's put together, but you, again, can share to a lot of different places. The difference here is you can actually share to Pinterest, which I found to be very beneficial and kind of fun. And it also, now Pinterest knows that I share all these Plexus posts, so Pinterest is recommending Plexus posts to me. One of the cool things about Friends Plus Me, excuse me, is you have the ability to log or to add a Chrome extension into your browser bar, so that anytime you're on Facebook or just reading an article on any website whatsoever, you can click on that little heart and it's going to pull you straight into Friends Plus Me to share that. So kind of handy. All right. Any questions so far? I'm kind of flying through. Okay. So organization, we have so many options for organization. Oops. And it's very overwhelming. I don't know about you guys. Because I love technology, I have a tendency to try all of these different things and then try to find what works best and kind of throw things against the wall. This is not like me. Excuse me. I wanted to highlight a couple of key platforms that I'm familiar with that I think are helpful, but there are so many that will help you stay organized. And I know we're talking about technology here, but sometimes pen and paper is also really handy. OneNote is great because it creates a notebook. You can have a little Plexus notebook. Within that notebook, you can have tabs. Within the tabs, you can have pages. You can use it through an application on your phone. So you can snap a photo of something and save that within your notes as well. Trello, I'm going to show you both of those as screenshots here in just a second. Another way to kind of just organize lists. All of these have applications you can put on your phone for, easy access, and you don't have to just be on the web. Evernote, very similar to OneNote. There's other people on the call here that might have more experience with Evernote and can certainly share. But it's a similar idea of the notebook environment and kind of categorizing and organizing things within a notebook. I threw Slack on here just because it's interesting. It's an interesting little platform where it's more for teams. So I wanted to throw it out here just for you guys to think about. But it's kind of a chat room of sorts within a team. But within that, you can organize things. You can share files. You can ask each other questions. Do things similar to like when you're in Twitter. You can do an @mention, where that person now knows, like if I did an @mention to Ruth, she would know that I've just reached out and said something that I'm looking for her to respond to. So again, I'm sharing that there are a ton of options out there, and I'm happy to talk one-on-one if anybody ever wants to about anything. That's just a couple of them. So I wanted to show what OneNote looks like. Again, you've got your notebooks, so you can see here on the left, I'm in one of my notebooks here, and these are the sections within my notebook. This is the online version of it. There's two different views whenever you're looking. So, and then these right here, you can see would be individual pages. So as I was kind of tracking different things, I was creating an individual page. So great way if you just are, I don't know, for especially early ambassadors, they're just taking in so much information. It's a great place to just organize your thoughts and start dropping them in on individual pages, and then you can sort them later and move them later. It's very handy in that respect. And you can create things like little checklists and, again, add photos and whatnot that help you along the way. Trello is one that I also wanted to highlight for you guys. Trello, I love this. And you guys are totally seeing my crazy life here. Any feedback on the nutso-ness? Okay. So Trello's cool. And the reason that I've fallen in love with it, at first I was extremely resistant because somebody at work was trying to do it. And I'm like, I don't need another thing to be organizing and planning my life on. However, what I like about it is it's in the vertical. So you can create vertical lists of things that need to happen and plans for, what you're going to be doing, what you have to do. So I have obviously a work one. My Plexus list has been handy. And then beyond that. So right now what you're seeing is a visual of just the lists that you can make. But within your list, and you can see this little bubble here, within the list you can make notes. You can make checklists within the list. You can create little subtasks. Those are basically like the checklists within each one. So then I could, for instance, in the Sip and See, create a sub list inside of there, basically saying, schedule the date, communicate it on email, create a Facebook event, so on and so forth. And then if other people are doing it with me, so-and-so is going to grab the water bottles and so-and-so is going to do that. And you can organize it. And again, all of these things are really trying to bring people together. You can invite other people to be a part of your lists with you. This particular example I'm showing you, is a board. So this is my personal board, and within my board, you've got the different lists. So again, just another fun way to organize information and try to keep track of what we've got going on. So that is Trello from an organizational standpoint. I did just want to say, this went so fast, you guys, because I was really trying to keep it short so that if we wanted to talk, we could. You can unmute if you have questions for me, but that was my short and sweet. I didn't want to dig too deep into the platforms, just because I know if you're not there, you're not interested necessarily in it, it might be a little bit overwhelming. So let's chat. What's going on out there?
I have a couple questions. Okay, so I've used Hootsuite before, and I have the one that you don't pay for, like that just you can. Is it 3 or 4?
Yeah, something like that.
You can have. I could not figure out how, because like you talked about being into like the 21-day, Slim and Edge challenge or whatever, because I really had wanted to like put, for example, like a daily water post, like because I kept forgetting, and then like 2 days would go by and I hadn't checked in on water. So, but I couldn't figure out how to link that particular group into Hootsuite. So I don't know if like offline we could talk about that, but that was something that a couple of times I've been like, gosh, I wish I knew how to do that. Because then I could have go for the full 21 days, a post a day,
Yeah, I did that. I felt really terrible. I did that with my Slim and Edge 7-day because I just knew I had a lot going on and I wanted to do it. Yeah. So I dropped all of them in. Yeah. And then I would just check in on them each day. Yep. So yeah, that's goofy that it wouldn't let you add it. I
just couldn't figure out how. I didn't. Yeah. I mean, because it's just, it's my business page for Facebook, and it's Twitter and something else. I can't remember, but anyway, it's been a while since I've done it. But I've also heard that like Facebook in particular doesn't like things to come in from like a Buffer or a Hootsuite. Do you know anything about that? Like, they're just so funny. Facebook is really goofy, I think.
Right. Well, Facebook wants to make money on all of us. So yeah, that's where it's tricky. So that's true. They don't end up ranking as high. So that's where your engagement is going to be so important, and getting people to actually interact with your posts. Okay. Because it's possible for Hootsuite posts to be seen. I do them and they work. But what I actually have found is kind of my workaround for that is because so much of what we share in our businesses is a photo with the big, post with it. Yeah. I've been using Hootsuite to schedule my Instagram posts. And I will go a little bit into more detail of what they do, because Instagram is funny. But my reason for that, Ruth, is because I'm finding then Facebook likes Instagram because they're the same company. Yeah. So if you schedule it on Instagram and then you make sure you share it to your Facebook and your Twitter at the time of doing your Instagram post, then you're good.
So is there a way to automatically have it post to Twitter and Facebook from Instagram? Because when I go in and I make a post on Instagram, I have to click them over each time.
You have to do that every time.
Okay.
Yeah. But what's goofy with Hootsuite, and I guess Instagram, because of how their APIs are, and the APIs, for those that aren't familiar, it's the technological term of basically their interface talking to each other. So Instagram's APIs are on lockdown to an extent. So what happens is you can schedule in a Hootsuite and you can put the blurb in there and you can do the photo in there. But what it does is you have to have the Hootsuite app on your phone, and it sends you a notification that says your post is ready to go now. Like you had scheduled it for 9 a.m. tomorrow, and now it's 9 a.m. tomorrow, and it says, boop, boop, you've got a post. And then you have to go at that point into Hootsuite on your phone or your computer, you have to do it on your phone because it's Instagram. And then you go into Hootsuite and it will take you into Instagram and it will show you the photo and it copies your verbiage and then you paste it in. So it's super wonky in the way that they've set it up. But once you do that a couple of times, it's super easy. And then what's nice about it is you don't have to think so much about, well, what am I going to say on Facebook versus what I'm going to say on Twitter. You just copy paste, hit Facebook, Twitter, send it off, and you're good.
Yeah, because it shrinks it on Twitter to like your little Bitly thing, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Well, I'll look at that, and if I have trouble, I'll call you tomorrow or something about scheduling into the groups. I had one other question. Because I'm kind of I had a friend that shared a notebook with me through Evernote, and I've never created anything myself on Evernote, but her notebook is so awesome. Did you see it? I'm willing to share with anybody.
I haven't seen it. I saw you post it, but I haven't had a chance to look at it myself.
Yeah, it's great. But I just wondered, like, your opinion on, like, OneNote and Trello. Like, Trello, I like the linear. I'm a very linear thinker, so that's really pretty to me, and it makes sense. And it's not overwhelming when I look at it. I just wondered if you had a personal favorite. Like, is Trello it for you? Is that where you do all your stuff now?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I think they each have their place. So OneNote or Evernote, in my opinion, are somewhat interchangeable, right? So whichever one you prefer. But I find that it's harder to find things in the notebooks.
Okay.
And so I see them both having their purpose. I see OneNote as being more of my resource library, and my Trello as my screen share. My Trello is kind of being my immediate to-dos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I tried to-do lists within OneNote, and then I forget about them.
Yeah. Yeah, I have not quite found my system yet. I have pieces of paper everywhere, and then I'm like, well, where's that piece of paper? So yeah.
I am by no means an expert in this conversation, you guys, other than I've just tried a lot of stuff. So I'm happy to share opinions, but I'm the same. I'm still kind of finding my way. And I think I will always be finding my way, because I'm sure some new platform is going to pop up tomorrow, and I'm going to be like, ooh, squirrel, something new to look at. So
I love it.
Ruth, I'm like you. I am very much fumbling with Evernote, but I'm excited about it.
I know. I feel like it could be really great, but I have not had the time to sit down and really like get my mind around it yet. So
yeah, Marty, this will make you cringe, but my current situation before Evernote is just my notes app on my iPhone, and I have like 75 million on there, and then I have to find where it is and try to keep bumping it up and for all my different Plexus things. So I'm excited to have something that is a little more like professional and organized.
That's awesome. They're all, I love them in concept, and I know a big part of it is always execution. So, and finding, like you guys have said, finding the way to make it work for you. I have a tendency, and the nice thing about those notebooks, though, is that you can move everything around within it. So you can say, oh, I didn't mean to put that in this section. I think it fits better in this section. So you can slide them around, which is cool.
And which CRM did you say you like? Do you like Insightly the best?
I'm kind of falling in love with Insightly. Yeah. Okay. Which means I'm going to have to make my transition, because I've been using HubSpot, and I've been telling plenty of people about it, and it's been working to an extent. But if I wanted to add people to my team, it's crazy expensive, and it's just stupid expensive. So my objective was to find something that might be a little bit more manageable if I wanted to add other people. And I can't remember, because I know Kay said that she was looking at one, or she was using one that was an economical price that she seemed really happy with, and I just can't think of the name.
Yeah, mine's called, hi. I'm not going to grace you with my beautiful face right now, because wow. But I am using one that I really like called FitFu. Like fortune is in the follow-up is what it stands for. And it was designed by some MLM folks, so it's real kind of intuitive to MLM. But there are, of course, things that, there are things like you're talking about, like the funnels where you can make like templates for the emails, and then you can schedule them to be sent on a schedule, like every few days, or however often you want to have things sent. And you can also schedule yourself to call someone or schedule yourself to set up a meeting. So there's that those similar abilities. But my question, I'm not getting, I think they're working on it, but I don't have the ability to really see, well, at least I don't know that I have the ability to, it's not real obvious that I have the ability to see when people have opened emails. And that I do think is a piece that is pretty important. So, but mine's like $20 a month for FitFu. So I really have enjoyed it, and I think it's a fantastic, and they're always making improvements, and they have an app, and there's a lot of good to it. But I haven't looked into Insightly to really compare and contrast the two and really make a decision as to which one I think would be the best. So, I mean, I think they all have their pros and cons,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I think if you find one that you like, just go for it.
Yeah, and there's always going to be something that's missing that you're going to see from somewhere else. You're like, oh, that'd be really nice to have in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one of the things where, like, if I go back to the social sharing, why I still use both Friends Plus Me and Hootsuite is they both have advantages. So, if I've been doing a lot through Instagram, so I've been using Hootsuite more. Oh, there she is. Hey, pretty lady.
Brilliant. Oops, there I go. Oh, there I am. I'm putting my boys to bed, so I'm in their room, and you just turn the light off. Okay. Oh, bye-bye. Sorry.
Anyway.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, so my point in that is that, yeah, there's always going to be something on either side that, you kind of wish, oh, I wish this. But truly, you can't go wrong with whatever you're going with, because you're going to find whatever is going to work for you. And what I find the most helpful, we've got a little bit of time left. You guys are already sharing what is working for you, but if there's any other things that you can think of that you're doing to help organize yourself, because I think that's something that we all struggle with on a regular basis. Ruth, do I see Post-its on your wall? Do you use Post-its to keep track of things sometimes? I feel like I've seen that.
This is my team. This is
okay.
To keep track of my, how far I have to go to my next goal.
Awesome.
No, I'm a hot mess. I'm not organized at all.
Well, you've got us fooled, so you're doing great.
Yeah. I cannot, I do not, yeah. I need to figure out, I got a little box with the note cards, and I was like, I'm going to do, when I sign somebody up, then I'm going to do 7 days from then and put them in the little tab, and, write little notes each time, and I did that for one day.
Yeah.
I'm just so all over the board about, I'll think about something will happen, and I'll think of someone, and I'm like, gosh, I wonder how they're doing, and I'll reach out to them, and I'm like, how's it going? Are you feeling really good? What can I help you with? But I don't have any system. That's one of the reasons that I started doing that newsletter, because I just felt like at least once a month, if I can get into them and talk about something seasonal or the time, appropriate, that's better than nothing. But I've got to get a system for following up with people. So anyway.
Well, and the other thing is Facebook's great, and that Facebook voice message, kick ass, right? Yeah. But then, when did I leave them a message? Who did I leave messages for this
Exactly.
week? How am I going to, and then you have to sit and you scroll, and who's got time to sit and scroll and be like, who the hell did I talk? So for a while there, I was writing down the names of people that I was leaving messages for, but then my best time to reach out and just wing it is when I'm driving in my car, so I'm not writing it down.
Me too. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Somehow we're still making it, ladies.
I know. Making the dream happen. Thank you so much, Marti.
Oh my gosh. Yay. I hope that it was okay. I went a little fast there, but great conversation. So thank you.
Yeah, really good overview. And I think, if anybody has questions, they can come to you. And at least it's food for thought. It's stuff that if it's not right for right now, knowing that it's available to explore when the need arises,
Totally.
It's awesome.
Yep. Thank you, Marti.
You're very welcome. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Is Nicole even on the call? Did she have something else to do?
She texted me there was an emergency she was attending to. So
Gotcha.
I don't know, because it's not showing me the ability to turn off the recording. So I'll figure something out. Everybody just hang up and we'll see what happens.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right, have a good day. Bye.